Buddy, here we are.
Morning, y'all.
Today,
Holy moly.
DJ, today it was like one of these audibles, right? Because totally with Canada Day on Friday and US holiday, never even booked a guest for today. So we're gonna call an audible. We're gonna do Mayhem Monday on what? We're gonna do it on a Tuesday, y'all.
On it.
Shows you how.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
DJ. So this goes back to DJ and I were just talking off air.
Oh my.
And love to know from all of you. When there's a short week at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week, I don't find it as much. But when there's a short week on a Monday, so like yesterday was obviously Independence Day. I took yesterday off because the majority of what I do is in the U.S. So I kind of choose that, give myself a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, DJ, like I'm still thinking it's Monday today, and by Friday it'll be one of these things where like, damn, I lost a full day's productivity this week, and all week I'm going to be off by a day. Like everything I do already, I'm planning meetings. I'm like, okay, how about tomorrow? And they're like, sure, what time? And I'm like, hold on, no, tomorrow's Wednesday. It's not Thursday tomorrow. Okay, so I need to no, because I'm thinking like tomorrow's Tuesday, not Wednesday, right? And I'm thinking, okay, no. So I don't know about you, brother, but I
agree. It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
It was super fun. They're nice to have, but yeah, these are I'm in that same time, and I actually when I woke up this morning, I told Mags, I said, I think this is my reset. So I call them reset days. It's something I learned from when I was doing the the weight loss program thing, but. I'm like, okay, I need to just totally decompress this day because then tomorrow I have to go back at it. And there's certain times that you just have to get that point and be like, shit, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm dealing with. And yeah,
nothing you can do, brother. It is what it is. Yes, exactly. So we figured we'd throw y'all a Mayhem Monday on a Tuesday. We got some rain happening up in my area, which is awesome because I just laid sod, so it means I don't have to be out there moving friggin' sprinklers every morning. So we have got good morning, Lisa, victorious again to start this Independence Day week. Good morning, Jeff, Lisa. And good morning, Daman. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Daman, hope you had a great long weekend as well, my friend. So, DJ, are you ready for a little Mayhem Monday on a Tuesday?
I am.
All right.
I am.
What? You were going to say what?
No. I was gonna see. Did you end up seeing fireworks anywhere?
Oh yeah. We actually we right in like this corner. My wife and I were sitting out in the back, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden these fireworks start coming up over the trees. We're like, "This is perfect. We got this like beautiful view of fireworks."
Yeah.
We're sitting there. It was great. We had a great time. We had some friends over on Saturday night. So Friday was our holiday, July 1st, and so a lot of the fireworks came Friday night. So we sat Friday night enjoying, and then we had a bunch of friends over on Saturday, for middle of the day kind of thing. And then yesterday had my mom and my mother-in-law over, and we had a beautiful afternoon just hanging out and chatting and snacking. And I feel like I put on 35 pounds in 72 hours.
That's why I think I have to throw up. I'm like, I don't really eat like that stuff, but it was just there.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where so it's funny. I was sharing a story on Saturday night with friends of ours, and they said because they're like, no way, you have to convince yourself not to eat donuts when you go to Tim's. I go, listen, here's the deal. If you put things in front of me that I really like, I know I have zero willpower to stop eating them. That's just, I mean, I understand myself well enough to know I have zero willpower. Doesn't the like spinach dip and caramel score dip and like chips and gummies and jelly beans and all this stuff, sausages and everything. I mean, I just ate and ate and ate and ate. And my buddy comes over on Sunday to help me with something out back. And he was there on Saturday. He goes, dude, I don't think I'm eating for like a week. I ate so much last night. And I'm like, dude, what is it when you go to these like parties and functions when there's so much food out, you just tend to like. I don't know if any of you do it, but it's like everywhere you go at every single point, yeah, there's like more food, and it's like, well, I'll just have a little bit, and it's just like this convincing yourself, just rationing lies to yourself that if I have a little bit here, I'll be okay. But you didn't take into consideration that little bit at the 19 different stations that have food, and then, so one thing I when I got diabetes in my mid 30s. I got type 1 diabetes, which is very abnormal for people in their mid 30s, right? It's usually overweight people that aren't necessarily exercising too much, eating the wrong things, that get type 2.
Yeah.
I learned for the first time in my life, calories in liquids is insane. And it is like the next day I'm cleaning up and I'm looking at all the calories that were drank that night, and I'm going, holy crap. Like it gives you such a different perspective. But let me tell you,
We're giving everybody
insane,
guilt
brother.
after like yesterday. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, sorry. Jeff says I'm guilty just as you say that, right?
Yeah.
I'm guilty as hell. That's why I'm fat. I do feel like crap. Today I started a new diet.
Listen, it's a reset. It's okay to have those days. This is where I'm telling you, no joke. Rico's book, Just Two Choices, is where it was like, okay, I did that. I chose that. It is what it is. Oh, well, now today I have to. And that's where like I said, I do a reset day. So today I'll probably just be drinking water all day. And that's it. But yeah.
See, that's good that you do reset days. I do like reset hours. So again, went to the drive-through, got my wife a coffee, got myself a coffee. I was going somewhere, and something told me I needed 3 donuts, so I got 3 donuts. After I ate the 3 donuts, I was like, okay, Dan, you can't do that anymore. You have to make better choices. Okay, I'm gonna make better choices. The next day, I went to go get coffees again. I only had 2 donuts this time. I made a better choice. So, right? So I do not feel guilty because I made a better choice. I didn't get 3, I got 2.
Why do they make them so easy? You can eat them so fast. That's what
Yeah, I like the Boston creams and the chocolate dips. And my first question is always, so is the chocolate on the chocolate dip healthy today? And they go, pardon? Well, is it thick or is it thin? Like, is it skimpy or did you put some chocolate on there? They're like, oh, no, they're chocolate today. I go, okay, I'll take 2. And they better be chocolatey, right? And I'm warning this person at the drive-through. If my chocolate donut doesn't have some chocolate on it, I'm going to be upset. So make sure you pick the ones with the big amount of chocolate on it. My daughter used to get so embarrassed. She used to work at the Tim's at the top of town. And I used to pull up on Saturday mornings when she was working. I'd be like, can I get 50 Timbits, please? And I said, and I want all the yummy sugary ones, none of those yucky plain ones. Said, Dad, you're so embarrassing. Then I get to the window, I'm like, hi, honey, how are you, honey? Hey, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my God, just go. Yeah,
just give him his stuff. It's free, go.
And brother, it was one of my best moments. I'm like, I get in line, I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait for it. I get all excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait, just to embarrass my daughter. It's hilarious. But
I love it.
Lisa says yes, reset, no guilt, no shame.
That's right. Listen,
yes.
New day, new choices. That's it.
And brother, listen, if you ate 27 handfuls of jelly beans, then just go for 26 next time, and it's a better choice. Trust me.
You're limiting yourself. I agree.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. I got to tell you this story because you'll appreciate this, and everybody out there, you might have. So I kept telling Cooper, my 5-year-old. So he's my 5-year-old. Gonna see fireworks. I had like the worst luck this weekend. Thankfully, yesterday turned out amazing. But so we. Friday, we're gonna go see fireworks. We set up, we go to this park, there's no fireworks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I picked the wrong day. Oh, it's the wrong
Why was there no fireworks?
Well, because it was a different day. So I'm looking on Google and it's a different day. So then Saturday or Sunday, like, okay, there's fireworks for sure. I'm telling Meg, she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I think so. No, there was no fireworks Sunday either where we were at. I thought there was Sunday and Monday. They're only Monday. I'm like, oh my God, I suck at this. What is going on?
So what you're saying is is you're not planning very many things for the future. That you're
Not
going to
for the
let somebody else
fireworks,
do
at
all the
least.
planning.
Holy
Yeah,
crap, I suck at that. But anyway, so yeah, Monday. So then we're like, okay, we know for sure. I know for sure where they're at yesterday. Then
And Coop's
Oakley.
probably like, "Sure, Dad, whatever." At this
Well,
point, I'm just
exactly. Oh
going
yeah,
along
he
for
was
the
done.
ride.
He thought I
Yeah,
was full of it. Then there's no fireworks.
yeah.
But so then Oakley, our 2-year-old, we can tell she is freaked out though, because there's fireworks throughout the night here, there in the neighborhood. So we're like, okay, this might not work. Well, sure enough, she wouldn't have even made it. So I last minute called an audible, just like we are today, and we just drove the strip where I knew fireworks were, but they were kind of like far enough away, and we just watched them that way, and it worked out perfect. So yeah,
Perfect.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And is your dog afraid of fireworks as well?
Yeah. She's weird. I don't know. I think she has little dog syndrome. She's, only like 5 pounds,
Yeah.
and she like
Yeah.
runs toward the fireworks. She doesn't,
Yeah.
like, I want to get them.
I call it purse dog syndrome. But
Yeah, yes, exactly.
they can fit in a purse, but they feel like they're 100-pound
Oh, they're
like
invincible.
Rottweiler. Yeah,
Chicken
yeah,
hawk. It's a chicken
yeah.
hawk from.
Chicken hawk. Yes, exactly. And I know what you mean by running to it.
Right.
It's some
It's
dogs
weird.
just are petrified, and other dogs are like, "What is that?" and try and investigate.
Yeah,
right?
she's like, I mean, Mags took her out when they were going crazy the other night and walking the dog, and she's wanting to go to it. More noise. I'm like, are you nuts?
Mhm.
But,
Yeah, what is that? That
What
feels
is
kind of
that?
weird
Curiosity.
in my chest. Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm. All right, brother, you ready?
Yeah, that was fun. Yes, ready. Let's do it.
All right.
Stop. Oh yeah.
We've done that one.
Oh.
Yeah, reverse engineered logistics. We did that one. So
See, I love that one though. It's
a good one. That is a good one.
That's the way you figure out any problem. Just reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Stop right there. I want that first bunch.
Okay. Oh, here's an interesting one, and I think it's one that every salesperson has been met with at one point in time in their career. So it is ahead, on time, late. Why so frustrated? The ahead of schedule frustration, the late and no one cares why frustration, the on time and no thank you or gratitude frustration. Yeah, I apologize, everyone. DJ, I'm going to let you start. I have to take this phone call, so I'm going to.
All right, well, here we go. So I don't know this strategy very much because we never really talked about this, but I can tell you that I have a weird. So one of my, I guess, pet peeves would be late. So on time is actually late to me. So I probably am one of those that frustrate people with the ahead of time, and I can understand that. Obviously, anybody knows in this world of fun world of logistics, it's all about timing. And so really knowing your receivers, knowing your shippers, and knowing their schedules and knowing kind of how they like it is a big key. Jeff shared, and Jeff, I'm sure you'll mention this hopefully in the chat, but shared this sheet of questions to ask. And man, that is so crucial. I ended up figuring that out the hard way of what to ask, what not to ask. But yeah, just really the timing of your deliveries. I know. And again, I don't know, Dan, if you caught that, but so I'm one of those that, to me, on time is late. So like 15 minutes early is on time to me because I hate, I don't know, whatever it is. It just feels like disrespect if people are late. So it's like, okay, I'm going to show up early. I'm going to show that I planned properly to be like, I mean, when I ran appointments in-home sales, I would be sitting down the street probably a half hour before just so I could get my mind right and most people are like, what are you doing? Why are you showing up so early? And it was just, I didn't want that anything to happen, but I can understand the too early. I've had that with shipments a lot. Oh yeah, go in. They'll like that you're there early. And then it's like, you fucked up everything. So
it causes this congestion in the yard, and then there's another driver in going.
Exactly.
But DJ, it's one thing that has been a frustration, I guess, from day one, right? Because you would think early would be better.
Yeah.
And you are right. If you don't ask the questions and you don't understand the C, D, E, and F of the A and B of your shipment. So we pick it up at A, we deliver to B. What's the next process here, right? So your appointment's at, say, noon or 11 o'clock. And we don't understand, or we don't know. All the company does is shipping from 8 until 11. Then they switch over to receiving. So now they're shipping all this product out, and you go in at 10 because you have an 11 o'clock appointment because you made it there early. Now you actually become in the way, and you become a distraction or a frustration because, again, the driver's going to get in. The driver's going to ask if they can get unloaded, or like it's normal, right? Hey, would you mind getting me in? Because if I'm ahead of schedule, I can maybe beat that traffic at the end of the day. Like there's all these I might be able to's that we have to deal with, and the ahead of schedule frustration, I believe, also stems from people typically people do just enough for what they get paid for. Right. And I think this is a big problem in every industry today is, I don't know about you guys, but like our airports are a disaster. Like there is, my daughter went away a couple of weeks ago. And she said, Dad, when I got back, she took the red eye. So like they loaded in Mexico at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, which means they land at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. She sat there for almost 3 hours waiting for luggage. 3 hours. She goes, Dad, there was people sleeping on like their carry-on bags on the floor. Like people were sleeping on conveyor belts. It was like, she goes, it was like the worst gong show ever. I go, like, I thought originally it was like customs, right? Like, coming through customs with, do you have to quarantine, all the COVID testing and all this kind of stuff. She says, no, it was a breeze. It was luggage. She goes, we got through in about 10 minutes everywhere. And then we sat in the luggage thing for like close to 4 hours. And
holy cow.
But it's Dean said many times, right? He talks about his wife's catering business. He says like, it's almost impossible to find people. Yeah. So I think that especially in today's day and age, we as the professional sales reps really need to understand our customers C, D, E, F, and G before we go anywhere, right?
Well, that's where this again. I think it's the future. I think it's what we've been talking about a lot on this show. But the whole, this company I got involved with, Giant. Their big thing is about the new way of things is going to be relationship first over everything, and a big key to relationship is communication, and the only way you get that C, D, E, and F is to actually build that relationship with your client instead of just the moving freight in this world. But I think, speaking to employees like you're talking about too, I think that's, you guys want to shine. Anybody taking jobs, anybody just get this job, like go above and beyond. Just show that you're going to do more. And listen, that's all you have to do. But I know exactly what you're saying. Everybody thinks, this is not my job duty, and they don't want that's so-and-so's. Instead of just do it. Just help out.
Relationships stem from understanding, right? Like if we look at the nucleus of relationships, it's understanding what matters to the other person.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Your spouse, your children, like your friends, your colleagues, what matters to you. If as a friend, if I never focused on what matters to you, there would be no relationship. It's just what it is. And what matters to your shippers and receivers, what matters to your customers. And I honestly don't think you're able to send them a quote. You're able to start building a relationship until you understand what matters. Because if your relationship is built on price and their relationship is built on service, you're never going to connect on the relationship. It's that whole right message, right person scenario, right? Like, exactly. And it's that not understanding, because as a sales rep, my job is to get it from A to B. But your job is actually to facilitate C, D, E, and F. A to B is given. I remember a customer telling me one time where he says, okay, so what makes you better than everyone else? And we're talking probably 4 or 5 years into my career. And of course, the big thing was, 99.999% on time rate. I'm on time. And he goes, you have to be on time. Like on time is no longer a value add. Like if you're not on time and you're screwing me around, you'll never get business from me. So that's not even a value add.
Yeah.
So let's, and I remember sitting in his office and I'm like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, shit, I got nothing else, man. I need to get more material here. I'm like a comedian on stage that's bombing and I got no way to come back. You know what I mean?
You nailed it though with what you said. And with exactly what you said is A to B is given. That's already given. C, D, E, and F. What is that? Mm-hmm. And figuring out that and taking care of those things is what takes you to the next level. Is what's going to bring that value and bring that. Yeah, you nailed it. I agree.
Well, it is, and so here's the thing: is I was actually looking for. You know what? Let's do a couple of questions because I'm actually going back to. And I'll find it. It was an inch. I'll find it one time or another. I do it here. I'll do it there. And then we'll go back. So let's do a couple of comments here. So Jeff says, DJ, yes, that's correct. You must know everything about your shippers and their customers' operations. 100%. Damon says, yep, ahead of time. Yep, been in trouble for this lots of times. No space in the warehouse. Not enough people there to offload. Exactly. Yep. They wanted appointments scheduled ahead of time, and their appointments would take 2 to 3 days to make. All sorts of excuses from customers why it can't deliver early. 100%. Yeah. Lisa says, this is where communicating, asking questions if early arrival would be acceptable, then communicate this info back to the carrier, asking them to confirm they understand. I think that's key, right? Do you guys get this? Like on all aspects of it. Do you get this? Is it doable? Is it understandable? Is there somebody better? Even Mr. Customer, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I know you might be in the office, it might not be on the floor. Is there somebody in the warehouse you want me to speak to just in case things are going wrong and you don't know about it, about my driver showing up early? Because it's that community. One thing I have found is with customers, there's customers that will not bring up every single detail to you.
Yes,
but it pisses them off.
Well, I'm not even going to say what I wanted to go there because that would have put me in a lot of trouble. But yes, I agree.
Now, would it have put you in more trouble than Mark Ridley saying that paper cuts hurt more than child?
No, not that.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I want to keep that comment alive because I want to make sure Mark gets as much.
I think that's a trick women do too. They keep those secret things that bother them, and they just want to test you. Figure this out. I'm not going to tell you what pisses me off. Figure it out. No.
And then when I tell you everything's okay, it's really not. That's a different story. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go.
That's your customers, guys. Figure it out.
Yeah. Scott says we can't just be order takers. You have to create a true customer experience. 100%, brother. Chris, good morning, Chris. Good morning, fellas. Love this conversation. Appreciate the insights. Absolutely, my man.
Thanks, Chris.
And Scott says, and to communicate to the carrier driver to let them know it's not guaranteed, we will do our best. 100%. There's 2 ways, right? Like, as a broker, all you have is information. That's what you sell. You sell information.
So do a good job of it and make sure you're getting a lot of it and constantly passing it.
Well, it's like Dale Carnegie, like Earl Nightingale, all these old school successful business people have always said, like, whatever you're going to do, be the best. If you choose to be a garbage person, be the best garbage person you can be. If this is if this is what you do, if this is how you put food on the table, be the best you could be at. With this new product we got coming out, I'll tell you, every day, I'm like, how could this be better? How could it be easier? How could it do more, be more, and achieve more for people that are going to use it? Right. And I think this was the core of and I mean, listen, we can go back to a million different companies. But Apple, obviously being the big one, is Steve Jobs was obsessed with the UI, right? Like he was like, no, the user's experience needs to be number one. It needs to be number one, to the point where I remember one time there was this whole big fight where he was like, that font needs to be added because people like that font. Like, it's a font.
Yeah.
And most people think, well, just type and you're okay. And like, no, I mean, nowadays.
Yeah, the font was a big thing. Yeah, I've heard
the font was a big thing.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first started building web pages, fonts were not available on browsers. So I don't know if you knew this, but the first style of web pages, like even up a decade ago kind of thing, when we would build them out, we would want like a chalk duster or a chalk font. And you'd actually have to create that as an image
Wow.
because Google and the actual, so if you didn't have that font in your desktop, you wouldn't see it. If that font wasn't a web font, it wouldn't display. It would revert back to like an Arial or something. So the look and feel you were going for wouldn't be there, right? And as a designer, you want that look and feel because that matters.
Yep.
Right. So that's where all these
the spacing, everything, the size, the spacing, everything. Yeah, I remember he really went into depth of it was big,
and it was all because the user. He's like, this has to be the user, and here's the thing: in sales, in our business, it's about the user, and the user is the customer, is the customer's customer. And if we don't understand that part of the business, which is the C, D, E, and F, somewhere in those four, then we're losing the battle every time. And it's not just A and B. It's if I'm late with B, what happens to C, D, E, and F? Right? It was crazy. But it's interesting. So let's do this.
You looking it up? Do we have some?
I'm getting it right here. Holiday weekend. Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna have a doozy here today, folks. Are you ready, DJ? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready? You know what it is right now, folks? See, we try and bring y'all the lane of the day at quarter after, and then when I get babbling, DJ sends me private messages saying, "Dude, lane of the day, you missed it.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what you guys see me doing over here.
That's when he's typing. He's like, "Dumbass, we had a schedule. You're not sticking to the schedule. Come on, stick to the schedule."
No. So, I don't say those words, but yes, lane of the day, DAT.
Lane of the day to come back from that. IQ to Christina Ellington and Dean Crook. Thank you so much for this market analyst. So here we go. Now, day back, reefer, Fresno, California to Denver, Colorado. Line haul rate per mile, $3.37. An all-in rate per mile, including fuel surcharge of $4.18. Contracted rates are sitting at $4.15, so not very far off the spot market at all.
Matching again,
yeah, year over year, the spot line haul rate per mile has only changed 26 cents, and it's less 26 cents today than it was a year ago, which is actually pretty interesting considering some of the massive decreases we've seen over the last week. I mean, at one point last week, we had $1.75, $1.85, $1. Like, it was huge. So for only 26 cents, it's crazy. Line haul rates are trending up after staying flat, averaging $3.08 per mile since March. They are 25 cents a mile higher than the May average. So May, it'd be interesting if we had some June numbers in there from May and June, because I'm wondering if it dropped in May and June. But that, my friends, is the DAT lane of the day.
Thank you all. Thank you, Darren. So Greg's got a good comment here too.
Oh, Greg, how come I didn't see Greg's comment?
It just came in.
Oh, okay, perfect. We have to remember that our first responsibility is not to close a deal. It's nothing more than opening a door to build a relationship, which we can then create future opportunities. You can't get to the dinner table until you build that relationship by opening the door. I hate the fact that it doesn't show the whole comment on the screen. But you know, Greg,
I agree, Greg.
You're absolutely right. And you know, if we've listened to some of the amazing customers we've had on this show on Tuesdays, right?
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
If we pay attention and almost, I'm going to say read between the lines, but really just take it at face value, not listening to respond, but listening to understand, right? Two big difference. You'll see it's all about questions. Every single customer said, ask me questions, engage me, get me talking. Like, ask me questions. And those questions come from everything we do. Like, what happens when we arrive early? Pardon? What happens when we arrive late? What is the fallout? What is the, throwing a rock in a pond? What are the waves that hit the shore?
Yes.
What is you? What does it do to your image,
What
credibility,
is
and
your
brand?
boss pissed off about right now? I mean, whoever our guest was last week said it perfect. Help me make my boss look good. There you
Yeah,
go. What
yeah,
is pissing your boss
yeah,
off? What is
yeah.
driving him crazy? What is the difficulty? Because that might help you get even deeper into, that shipping manager or whatever might, just like we talked about, know their role, and so they're not trying to understand, but maybe we can help bridge that gap even between. I had this happen with two bosses, a plant manager and shipping manager. He's dealing with one thing, and he thinks it's just the shipping manager, well, that's not his duty, so he's not thinking about it, but it is a pain. And if you could tie those things,
It's like one of these things where if you take care of your customer's customer,
mm-hmm.
you're living la vida loca, as Ricky Martin used to say,
How can they,
right? And it's true. Like, but the buck usually stops at the customer, and not only that, it stops at the conversations of the customer.
mm-hmm.
Right? So how many of you have actually called the shipper or receiver of your customers and put them through a Q&A session? Like, what happens when we are late? What happens when this happens? What happens when that happens? What are your goals and achievements that you want to achieve in these shipments? Like, really identifying that and then relaying that back to your customer. Hey, FYI, I just spoke to DJ at DJD, manufacturing. And here's what he said. So he's asked if we can actually come in at 10 o'clock. I know you said you wanted 8. What do you want me to do? Well, the customer wants you to come in at 10, come in at 10. Perfect. That's going to put our thing behind on delivery a little bit because it's straight haul delivery, whatever the case may be. But it's getting everything that looks good. So, and what you're doing to your customer is, if their customer is super happy, you've just instantly made them look awesome. Right. And it's just that little investigating and pay attention to what the actual people we speak to every day say on this show. Ask me the questions, engage me, ask me questions people don't ask. Those are the questions.
Yeah.
Those are the questions.
And you nailed it again with your comment. Listen to understand, don't listen to respond. There's a huge difference. If you're thinking of your next response before they're finished talking, you're listening to respond. If you are truly listening to them, you have nothing to say, or you're pausing at least for a minute. Just catch that. I have that. I've had that problem my whole life. And so really being mindful of it and paying attention to it, but you gotta listen.
I think everyone has that. I just think it's part of the way we're ingrained as humans. I think we truly have to. It's like a lot of things, and I don't know about you, DJ, but I know we've gone over on time, so I apologize, everyone. But it's one of these things where, as we get further ahead in business and life, and in really understanding our mission, right? Like you hear it with all of our amazing listeners. Value. What is value? Bring a relationship, bring value, bring something positive to the environment. Like, everybody you speak with should be left happier, more energized, more excited, and more motivated than before you started speaking to them.
Yeah.
And, if you live by that motto and you just consciously make it so you can consciously remember this, so many things change. And it's just incredible, the things that happen and the conversations you can have. Like Greg said, when you're not going in for the money, you're not going in to close a deal. You're going in to say, does my strength, does everything I bring to the table, will it add value to this person's life? And some of you out there that are watching and listening might be like, well, yeah, but it's about money, Dan. And yes, in the end, it's about business. But business is all about relationships. And you know what, DJ? Business has always been about relationships. I think there's certain things in life that happen that make that more prevalent, right? It's like anything in life. You have a real big scare. Your perspective on a lot of things change.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
just the way our lives roll on every part of our life.
Yeah.
Right? You might be slacking in your desire to achieve your dreams and ambitions. And then a family member gets ill, or a friend of yours happens to, for some, crazy reason, have a sickness or die or something, and it changes your perspective. You're like, I'm never slacking again. I'm going to go at this because I'm going to show them what I can do, or have them be proud of me. Like, all of these different things are perspectives, right?
Yeah.
And when our perspective is not set in sales on our mission is to help this is the big reason why I sold image, credibility, and brand for the last decade of my career, because that's what people care about. They really do. And you know, like, it was Tony Darnell who said, like, make me look good to my boss, make my boss look good to his boss.
Okay, yes, it was
That's
Tony. You're right.
Credibility, brand. Yeah, Tony Darnell. He's the one that said that. And even John Brewer said, and Gray, they said, like, listen, like, I got to look good.
Again, they have somebody to
look good.
Yeah, they have somebody to respond to, and so you want to know what things we respond to our customer. They're responding to somebody. Who are they having to respond to, and what can we do to make that easier for them? That's it.
You know what? Scott has a good one here. The goal is to have their customers start requesting you as the 100%.
Bingo! Right? You get to that point. Yes, I've had that, and those are the best, because they can't even say anything. But just keep them on it.
And Lisa says, "How can I help?" Exactly.
If you aren't leading with that question in mind every day with everybody you meet and everybody you talk to, they will know. If you are leading with that in the back of your head, how can I help you, with every single person you talk to and come to, they will tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I truly
agree.
It.
All right, brother. What do we got?
That was fun, man. Hey, thank you all for the comments. Thank you for joining us. I got some energy from this, and I don't feel like throwing up anymore. So thank you.
Perfect. I'm glad, DJ. Do you still have a bucket beside you, or did you kick it away?
Yeah, I do over there. I would have just but thank you, everybody, for joining us again. Short week today. Is Tuesday. This is not Monday, so don't get it confused. I know we have Monday up there in the title. Thank you, everybody. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 9:30. Sales Chatter Live. Start your day right with us. Get motivated. Get the energy you need. Win, DJ. Thank you. And just rock the day. You need a reset day. You need to reset. Just be self-aware of how you're feeling and go help the next person you talk to. I had to take this quote. What's that? I had to take this quote. Favorite guy of mine, actually my oldest son. I give a little to tell people how crazy I am. My oldest son is named after Kobe Bryant. That's how big of a fan I am of Kobe Bryant. So it's Kobe. It is my oldest son. Shout out Kobe. But so this is a Kobe Bryant quote. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will do it for you. Believe in yourself, guys.
True. Truer words have never been spoken, my friend.
Centurion Trucking. Our motto is people before profit. Today's market requires more transparency, consistency, and focus on what our clients need to win. Centurion Trucking and American Logistics are poised to help their clients achieve and surpass their targets. If you're looking for a team that honors your needs, dreams, and aspirations, then get a hold of Daman at American Logistics or Centurion Trucking